Okay, so it is time to talk about the gravity form setup. This specific form, to be exact, I bet we all remember how we used this form to send out these 3 emails to 3 different people at the same time with the same content. And here, the most important thing to notice is this part, this send to field, and look at this string, and right here in the URL. By now we all know, if we have been following this series, then how we use JavaScript to create this link dynamically with this specific field in it. Let's go behind the scenes to see the structure of this form and how this field was enabled and how we used this string and updated the send to attribute of gravity form using the gravity notification hook. That's coming up. Okay, so now we're at the back end and this is the form in question. So let's go in and see what's up. All right, so this is the form, by which I mean this guy right here. And these are all the generic stuff. So these guys are just usual email, phone number, etc. But the most important thing is this field right here, this guy, with all the email addresses as a string. So let's see how we are generating that dynamic field. So I have to go under Advanced and check this box, allow field to be populated dynamically, and this is where I'm calling that field, which is basically up here. And this is the one I'm populating with this email string using JavaScript, which in turn populating our gravity form. Now the question is, what are we doing with it? To find that out, we have to go here under notification of that same form. We are going to manipulate this send to email, this attribute of gravity form, normally which is set to admin email, but we're going to manipulate this one using gravity notification hook. For that, we have to go back to the code, but before I do, let me show you another thing. This is how I actually generated the custom notification form, which is, you can find here. First name, last name, email, phone number, message, right? So this is completely created here, and how I'm getting these items from, let me show you. It's from here. If I do first name, it actually tells me which item or field ID that is, 1.3, and then I just manipulated it accordingly. And then, for example, if we want to go last name, 1.6, and so on and so forth, email, blah, 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 right? Okay, and also one little thing before we go, under the confirmation, I have a new confirmation here. Go in, and this is where I just changed it to page redirect, and this is where I picked up the HMU thanks page, which is basically, this one gives us the thank you message after the emails are sent. That being said, let's go back to the code and find out how we manipulate the notification. Okay, so before we look into the code, I wanted to show you where I got the code from, which is gform notification. This is the filter hook that I used to update the send to email for gravity form. And this hook controls everything about any gravity form's notification attribute, okay? So that being said, if you want your changes to affect all of your gravity forms on the page, on the site, then you use this. Or if you have a specific form ID that you want to attach to, just add _5 or 6 or whatever, and then use the filter, and it will only affect that specific form. And here they have all the parameters or attributes listed and give us lots and lots of examples how to use it. From all these, all I had to take is this, just this much, because this notification to variable is the one I had to update to change the send to notification. So now let's go look at the code. Okay, now here's my theme, and my custom functions are here. Since this is a self-lit app, this is the application name, so I organized it accordingly. And this is under a folder called Gravity. This is where all the Gravity folder related stuff goes, and this is where it is. So now let's take a better look. So I'm calling that same filter, bringing in a notification form and entry as attributes. And here it is, notification 2 and entry 4. Now this is where my variable is. The email string we talked about, this is where it is. And how did we find it? For that, I had to use this line right here. What this does is it generates all the entry variables, basically from this variables, all its contents on a debug log. Let's go see how I got that. Okay, here I had to go straight to settings and then come here and turn this logging on, and then go to logging, and then view log from Gravity Form Core, and that gave me this. The whole content of this entry array, and this is where I got the number 4 from. Field ID can be gotten from the form itself, but sometimes it is not as easy. So this is the best way I found to collect all the entry details, and thus I used it in my code right here. And this is the line that enabled me to see all those entry variable details. And once I update this notification like this, I return the notification, and this gets launched every time somebody hits submit on my form ID 6, which is this guy with this form ID 6, and thus we got all this email sent out in one shot. And that's all for Hit Me Up or HMU project. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please smash the like button and the subscribe button. This will help me bring more free contents like this to you every week. Thanks again.